Hi guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use a sky replacement technique. And basically all it is and what it can be useful for is if you want to change the environment, the way the sky looks, possibly color correct it or just change it completely to something exotic. This is the tutorial that you want. So first let us drag this into the new composition button. And here is our footage. Now the first thing that we want to do is track our footage because it is a moving shot. So we will do that by going into the tracker window. If that's not there for you, go into window and click on tracker, which is right over here. Yep, click that. Actually, first create a new null object, and this is what we're going to use to hold all of our information. So select your footage, select track motion, click rotation because it's rotating, and that is part of the information that we need. And select a nice point in your shot that's it's not distorted, nothing passes through on the background, and it stays the same the whole shot. So I'm using this part. It's got a decent amount of information, not too much, not too little, and After Effects shouldn't have a problem with tracking it. Now I'll explain this to you if you don't know, if you haven't used it before. The inside box over here determines what you want to track, and the outside box is the seeking range. So every frame that it moves, if this is in range of this box, it will be able to track it. And so obviously the slower the camera movement, the smaller your tracker box will need to be. But if it's shaking a lot, you're going to have to make this thing a lot bigger. But for this, I think it should be fine. And now let's go to our next box. We want to make sure it's not too close to the second box, and we have to find a balance of something good to track and also what's going to give us some good information. So I think that should be alright. Maybe make that a bit smaller. That. And that should be fine. So now hit the track forward button. Analyze forward. Sorry. Click that. And yeah, we didn't click the scale button because yes, there is obviously a slight change in scale, but it is not necessary and it's not visible to our eyes. And also I mean, the clouds and everything behind the houses is so far away that really to our eyes, whether we take a step back or step forth doesn't really make a difference. So just wait for that to track. Alright. Well, it messed up a little bit over here, but it's right, it was the end of the shot. We're gonna delete that part of the video anyway. Now, so we have our information. As you can see, it's tracked nicely onto these 2 points. We want to click Edit Target, and should automatically select your null object. Select OK, and select Apply. Apply to X and Y dimensions. Okay. Now, what happened here? All our footage has been tracked to our null object. As you can see, all the keyframes are there. If we play fourth, this should be nicely stuck to the point, which it is. My computer's running slightly slow, but it's okay. And for now, let's just hide that because we're not going to need it. Actually, lock it. Now we want to select our footage and hit Control D, which is going to duplicate it. Hit Enter on the duplicated footage and type in matte. This is what we're going to name it because this is what it is going to act as. And at the moment, what we're going to be doing is working on replacing the sky. So our aim at the moment is to change the sky to a completely white color as best as we can, and anything that's not a part of the sky to a nice dark black kind of color. So let's go into the effects and type in levels, drag that onto the matte layer. We want to select input black and adjust it until most of the bottom has turned black or an extremely dark color. That should be alright. Then select input white, bring that backwards so that everything on top is white. And as you can see, you got little specks of blue and green and all that. That's because of my camera. It's slightly pixelated, but it should be okay. I think, yeah, 130 did alright. Now, because the way the track matte is going to work is from levels of black and white, we're going to change this completely to black and white. So this blue, it's going to turn into a different color. So we're going to go effects and presets, type in tint, bring that in, and it's automatically done it for us. It's turned it black and white. We can do some quick adjustments to this to make it a better matte. So let's actually go layer, pre-compose, matte, move all attributes. Okay, let's go into the composition. Let's create a new shape, click OK, and see this white part over here, just draw around it, and so that's our problem fixed. All these little specks here shouldn't make a difference, should be okay. And if we go through this, you can see we got a nice matte happening, and After Effects renders the information of the colors quite well, and obviously the better your camera is, the better it's going to work. So now that we got that done, we have our footage here and our matte here. Now make sure the footage is under the matte. Select if this menu isn't shown up, hit F4, click track matte and click Luma inverted, and that basically just tells After Effects to show everything except what's in white on the layer below. So now we've got this nice matted footage. As you can see, it's not perfect. We've got some outlines there. It's kind of glowing, but it's not going to be noticeable once we add another layer in. So let's do something unrealistic and let's create a new layer. Solid, I don't know, let's say effect because we might change it up. Okay, bring that to the very bottom, and as you can see, now we have a nice blue sky. Unrealistically blue, but that's okay. And so now, because it has no detail in it, you can't really notice that it's not tracked to the null object, which I will explain in a second. So let's add an effect to it, which is going to give it some detail. We're going to add some turbulent noise, which you can find in the effects and presets. Drag that onto your effect layer. Leave it the way it is. It should be fine. So now let's play. And now the problem is we have the footage moving, but the so-called sky that we're using isn't. So it looks very unrealistic and very strange. So what we're going to do is, this is where our null object comes into play with everything we tracked. So actually bring it right on top of the effects layer, unlock it first, and use this little spiral tool, it's the parent tool, and click it, drag it all the way to null 1, release, and let's play now. And now you can see the sky is tracked nicely to it. So you can see that there's a little bit of an error here, there's some black, and that can easily be fixed by clicking on our effects layer and simply enlarging it. And now it's tracked nicely. It's absolutely up to you what you put in for your effects layer. You can actually make an artificial sky that you want to create in Photoshop, or I don't know, let's just add this just for fun. You can put some particles in. Let's go into the Canon, add a lot more velocity, more radius. Let's play that. See, we've got this cool looking effect, but we should actually duplicate this and delete the particle effect so we can take away that nasty outline. Also take away the turbulent noise. Let's play through it real quick and see we have this nice effect. Well, it's not necessarily realistic, but I'm sure you have the idea of the potential that this technique has. Just play through that rendered version real quick. And obviously you can also keep to choose the sky and add things to the sky, whether you would like to add a plane flying by, a rocket, whatever you want. But I find this to be a very useful tool. It's almost like a chroma key tool if you think about it, like a green screen, but instead we're using the information from the light parts and the dark parts of the video to key out the footage. So yep, I hope you guys learned a lot from this tutorial, and thank you for watching.